Welcome back to Turf Talk, electrifying mile and a quarter edition. Van's two big races at the Classic Distance on Saturday, and the winners did not disappoint.
No, they didn't. California Chrome turned in one of the best performances we've seen from an older horse going that far in probably 5-6 years, no question about it, against a very good field. On the other side of the country, Songbird again electrified. She's clearly the best 3-year-old filly we've seen in a long time, and
7 years.
7 years anyway. Yes, Rachel Alexandra, but it's great performances all around, and great for the sport, and we look forward to them as they continue on the road rest of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. For Chrome, to me, shades of Ghost Zapper, really, because he just went out there, and Anthony Stabile, my colleague on the call-in show on Thursday night, the lone dissenter, did not vote for California Chrome on top, choosing Frosted, and he had some wailing and gnashing of the teeth about the pace and the California Chrome wasn't challenged. To me, it was just like the 04 Breeders' Cup Classic. I don't know who would have ran with California Chrome on that day. Yes, Dortmund and Beholder are capable of it. They certainly would not have won the race had they done so. I think California Chrome would have won the race because I don't see opportunity erasing the deficit. To me, it was as good a performance as I can remember seeing, and like you said, especially at that Classic Distance on dirt.
Yeah, any way you slice and dice and analyze this particular race, you just don't see a scenario where California Chrome loses it. Whether if there was additional pace pressure, or if he stalked the pace, he was just simply too good for this field. And I think that performance makes him an odds-on choice in the Breeders' Cup Classic, whether he has another prep or not. It's going a mile and a quarter over basically his home track of Santa Anita. I don't see, even if Frosted wins spectacularly again on the East Coast, Cal Chrome on his home turf looks to me a very short price favorite Breeders' Cup Day.
Yeah, I agree, and I definitely was hoping before Saturday that we'd see something special from Songbird, which she did. I mean, she won one of the most prestigious 3-year-old filly races by 7 furlongs, going a mile and a quarter. After that Pacific Classic, though, even I don't see her as a contender for the Breeders' Cup Classic, and I don't say that as a slight against her, but at this point, I'd rather see what becomes of her facing Beholder and Stellar Win than her going against Chrome and Frosted at a mile and a quarter.
Yeah, after that Alabama, she has nothing else to prove in the 3-year-old filly division, and I wrote about this in a blog that I just published today, that there's no need for an encore for her in the 3-year-old filly division. She is going to go to the Cotillion at Philly Park next month, unfortunately. I think a race like the Spinster at Keeneland, it would be a much more interesting prep for her. And her going to as I wrote in the blog, her going to the Cotillion, if she wins by a large margin, it's great, but she misses the spirit by a mile running in that particular race.
Yeah, and the money's there, and the Kentucky Oaks winner will be there, which in many years we'd say, wow, what a showdown. But at this point, I feel the same way going into the Cotillion as I would have the Kentucky Oaks, even if Catherine Sophia had won the Ashland. It just seems like we've settled who the best is, and not to take anything away from the Oaks winner or Catherine Sophia, who is very good, but Karina Mia had every chance, and she dispatched her with ease. No one was close in the Alabama except Roman's filly, Maggie, whatever it is.
Go Maggie, go.
Thank you. And she only beat one home, so I just feel like we know what it is. But if they feel like that's the prep they want, and they don't want to face Stellar Wind and Beholder in the Zenyatta and then right back in the Breeders' Cup, it is some sense, although you're a spinster, then you face some East Coast and you're going to mile and eighth at Keeneland. And it would be fun, but it doesn't seem like it's in the cards. But either way, on Saturday, 2 special performances.
Yeah, and what more can you say about them, really? It's just 2 spectacular superstars we got. They're not the only superstars we have in the sport this year, but clearly, come Breeders' Cup weekend at Santa Anita, the talk is going to be a lot of it will be centered around Songbird and the Distaff and Cal Chrome in the Classic, and it should be a great racing as usual.
Yep, and perhaps Flintshire in the Turf, who we'll see on Saturday. Travers Stakes undercard includes him, Lady Eli's return. A lot of people excited for that. And of course, the showpiece, the Travers 3-year-old championship. I don't want to say on the line because the Classic, if a 3-year-old were to upset Chrome, would be a huge boost to his resume, but if Exaggerator wins the Travers, he's open lengths now ahead, I think, in the division. Nyquist could take it back with a win, and Creator would probably make it a three-way tie.
But going back to what you said about Exaggerator, he would be an open lengths favorite to win, and not only because of the victory and a potential victory in the Travers, but also you almost don't see anybody else trying to attempt, reversing the tables on him in the Breeders' Cup Classic, at least among the three-year-old.
Right.
Among the three-year-old class, Nyquist is not, I think in the same league as Exaggerator, going 1.25 miles at Santa Anita necessarily, and I don't know if Creator has the tactical speed to beat him over that kind of a track out there. So, yeah, this is a huge race for Exaggerator. We'll see if he gets his sloppy track or not. I haven't looked at the weather forecast ahead of the time.
You never know in Saratoga.
Yeah, that's true. It could pop up at any moment. So, he's definitely in the driver's seat, and he's the horse to beat.
All right, well, we'll get our final picks later in the week on the Twin Spires blog. You wrote about California Chrome, so we'll link to that at the bottom as well, and we'll recap it all on next week's Turf Talk. In the meantime, enjoy the week.